Jai Shri Krishna. Happy Thursday, and we've just come out of the so-called eclipse Grahan, everything together, right? The eclipse and the new moon, right? The Amavasya, etc., right? And the eclipse has happened in Ashlesha Nakshatra. So all Mercury Nakshatra people watch out, Ashlesha, Revati, and Jyeshta. All right. So happy Thursday, and today moon is in Magha Nakshatra in Leo. Today, I'm going to be talking about the four divine truths of Hinduism, and it's connected to Vedic astrology. Okay, the beautiful thing about Hinduism is if you touch Vedic astrology, if you touch yoga, if you touch Ayurveda, if you touch meditation, everything will be connected. There is no dead end, right? This is the beautiful part. Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything will be connected to all these elements. The reason why it is connected, because it is the truth. It is the only truth. It is the divine truth. Okay? Unlike other religions, you don't find this thing, right? There's no history. There's nothing about it, right? You don't find anything. And the reason is why? Because it's a question mark. But here in Hinduism, it is complex and complicated. But the more you put your head to it and start learning and understand, you will understand how the deities, how everything, talks to you. The other important thing is all the Abrahamic religions, I would keep Judaism aside. They are into killing Hinduism because they know they cannot live or sustain, right? And they can only sustain once they kill Hinduism, which is not going to happen. That is a whole different story, right? Okay. So we'll talk about the four divine truths of Hinduism, which is also the pillars of Hinduism here in a way. Now, if you see Hinduism, right, it resists the easy summary, easy screenshots, easy things, right? The scriptures, the deities, the philosophies, the Vedas, the Puranas, the rituals, right? And all the traditions, right? They are infinity. It is inexhaustible, is the right word, right? And it affirms one infinite divine reality, okay, that can be known and worshipped in many forms. The whole thing comes from Parabrahma, right? Which is the Adi Shakti, Adi Parashakti, from whom came the three Deviya, right? Lakshmi, Parvati, Saraswati, from where Vishnu himself was created into the whole energy, okay? So as the protector, right, of the whole universe, from where the Vedas came from Vishnu and given to Brahma. Brahma was created further. Shiva came next. All this in this process came. Okay, like a balance. Okay, right. Now come back. The monotheism, right? It affirms one supreme God. Whereas in Hinduism, right, the monotheism, if you look at it, is broader. It encompasses both personal and impersonal aspects, right, of the divine. Okay, it depends on how one sees an elephant in a dark room, right? That is what Hinduism says. Okay, this is called also like a Saguna Brahman, right? The divine with the qualities worshipped in forms such as Shiva, Vishnu, Devi, Ganesha, Parvati, Murga, etc. And of course, the formless divine. Okay, there is a form, there is a formless divine, which is affirmed also in Islam, Sikhism, and some Hindu traditions. And then you have which is the Nirguna Brahman, the impersonal, attributeless, non-dual reality, beyond every shape, name, size, form. Okay, so it is very interesting to see the polymorphic dimension, right, included in divine incarnations, right? The infinite divine itself takes different forms, right, and different time periods, scales, the different yugas, the four yugas you have: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. We are now in Kali Yuga. And how God himself takes different forms, be it in Shiva, be it in Vishnu, like Rama, Krishna, Then eventually even different versions come, right? Muruga, Ganapati, right? Mukambika, all of them come, and they come for a reason. They just don't come like that. There is a purpose. Whenever there is an imbalance in the world, in the universe, right? They come to create the balance, to protect the dharma. When adharma rises, they come in the form of dharma. Okay, that is one of the reason I keep saying in Vedic astrology, the best yoga combination is Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga, the 9th and 10th Lord. Okay, all right. Coming back, polymorphic, right? Monotheism, it differs from polytheism. Okay, because these forms are not separate, they are competing, they are ultimate realities, but manifestations in one divine. Yet, the monotheism, if you look at it, right, identifying by the divine exclusively with a personal God. Okay, this is where the principle of, Ishta Devata, Grama Devata comes, which allows each person to choose a divine form that speaks personally, right? Now, do understand the Ishta Devata, if it is able to talk to you in a very nice way and you're able to communicate and it's able to help you for 3 generations, will also become part of your Kuladevata. Even though if it's a formless reality or whatever it is. 3 generations, if it protects you, your parents, your children, it becomes your Kuladevata. So you will have 2 Kuladevatas now, your original Kuladevata and then additional one. Remember this is very important. So in Devata, you have Kuladevata, Ishta Devata and Grama Devata. Okay, and then the 4 pillars we have in Hinduism as well as in Vedic astrology, which is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which is also the 4 padas, right? Pada 1, pada 2, pada 3, pada 4 in Vedic astrology. For each nakshatra, there is a pada, which signifies also the 4 directions, east, west, north, south, which signifies also the 4 Vedas in a way, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Sama Veda. Think about the body, the soul, and the mind. There is a karmic birth cycle here. The body is replaced all along. The soul takes different process, but the mind is the most important thing because this is where one uses free will. The fate versus the free will comes in. So Hinduism, technically speaking, right, if you, including Vedic astrology, it kind of ascertains 4 legitimate aims of life, the paths of life: dharma, ethical and responsible living; artha, material well-being, which is important; kama, the fulfillment of desires. One of the main reason people are also born, one of the main reason, right, is because of desires. And then moksha, spiritual liberation. Okay, there is a wealth. The spiritual liberation is not from the birth rebirth cycle. It's beyond it. So birth rebirth is one thing. Moksha is from this birth as well as the birth rebirth cycle. So that's the bigger picture, right? So what happens is, if you see, this is one of the reasons this Abrahamic religions promise all these things beautifully, right? Because we don't know what happens after death. That's the whole thing. Okay, maybe today, if Hinduism has kind of put into Christianity, or Hinduism has put a religious label to animals also, right? They would have come and done that as well. The Abrahamic religion people, they would have started converting animals also now into the same thing. Because Hinduism didn't do that or anything, it defines it, so they're sticking the same path but following the opposite direction, the ulta direction. Okay, so coming back, moksha is the highest path, okay, which brings freedom not only from ignorance and selfishness and suffering, but also from this birth and the cycle of births. And it comes through a direct experiential knowledge, okay, of the divine and our relationship with the divine and the ancestors. The Pitrus plays a very important thing, okay, and it is not merely an idea or a thought or a collective process or something, okay, but it's more like a spiritual truth realized for ourselves and our family and our lineage. Okay, so to summarize, the divine is one infinite reality. Okay, personal, impersonal, however you want to keep it, many names, many forms, whatever it is, shape, size, however you do it. So the thing about Hinduism is If you believe in God, a stone can become a god. This is the summary. But if you don't believe in the deity, right, even God will become a stone. Simple as that. And one of the big thing it teaches you is mother comes first, father, teacher, and then only God. Teacher, guru, etc. See how it is. Okay? Mother, if you cannot respect your mother, nothing will happen for you. No God will help you. That is the most important thing. Mother comes first. Second, okay, so coming back, second, our deeper identity is spiritual. Okay, that is why one it says that once you hit that 60 years, which is again connected with Saturn and Jupiter, which will come back to the same place, you have to start killing all your materialistic things and move to a spiritual path and kill all your desires. Don't have your desires, because if you keep having desires, it will create more and more birth cycles for you. Okay, other than your karma, unwanted karma, which you already have from this birth and past birth. Okay, so the immortal Atman, right, it is intimately connected with the divine. As we kind of go through this karmic journey, okay, the body, the mind, the ego, etc. Third, the life's highest goal is moksha, freedom from ignorance, suffering, rebirth through direct realization of the divine and our relationship with it. And the last one is the infinite divine, which can be realized through infinite paths. It doesn't matter what path you take, right? As long as it's a dharmic path and you take what God you worship in Hinduism, you will go. Hinduism has hundreds of gods. To add Islam and Christianity is not a problem, but their main aim is to kill Hinduism. No, there is no coexistence for them. Ask yourself and ask every person you want to ask this question who comes and preaches to you about Abrahamic faith, Christian and Islam, right? Christianity and Islam. Tell them, ask them, how did Christianity come to India? How did Islam come to India? If they are talking, this is the peace religion. If they say Christ showed the face and try to show the second one to hit, look at how the church opposed everything what the scientists and everybody said. How many people were killed in Europe when Christianity emerged? Is this how it is? Something is wrong. Christianity, even the Bible even came only 100 plus years after the so-called Christ's death, and none of the historians have recorded to all the events happening at the time when Christ died. Look about Philo, right? I think his name is Philo, a Greek philosopher. He says he recorded every event at the time of so-called Jesus Christ's birth, but he didn't record Jesus Christ, because did it happen is the question. The truth is there. The recording is not there. Okay? The point is not to prove or bring Christianity and Islam down, right? It's not. I have friends and I respect whatever they want to do. It's fine. Okay? But the fact is, for them, there is no coexistence. They have to kill. They have to kill Hinduism. If they want to preach the Bible or preach the Quran, let them do everything in the church or the mosque, not on the road, not by giving money, not by converting people on the road and knocking everybody's door. If God is so great for you, right, people will come and knock your door. This is the truth. But it's not happening that way. In the US, unfortunately, churches are being closed. This is the fact. In UK also, I'm hearing it. And they're being converted into musical halls and wedding things, whatever it is, all those things are being happened. And mosques are also coming up. Okay? So it's very interesting. The Jewish people, right, is all part of the same faith, Abrahamic faith, the Judaism, Christianity, Islam. The Jews don't agree on Jesus and Christianity. The Jesus and Christian people don't agree on Islam. So they're never going to agree with each other. Okay, and they're still waiting for Christ to come, which I don't know. I don't think he'll come, because there's no truth to it, unfortunately. Coming back, Rig Veda. If you read Rig Veda, it says very clearly, and my Sanskrit is so bad, okay, so I apologize upfront. Ekam sad vipra bahuta vadanti, okay, which means truth is one. The wise can call it by many names. You can say whatever you want, but the truth is one. Okay, like The main God is one. It's coming eventually to that. Okay? Think about a tree. Think about a tree. How it's got many roots everywhere. You go dig somewhere, you go dig this side, this side. You may see the same tree's root only. But those roots are not, those roots may be different, but the tree is the same. Think about a tree and a root. Like, I'm not talking about more than a pot and the soil. Okay? Then, if you also read another book other than Rig Veda called Swetsavatra Upanishad. Okay? Swetsavatra Upanishad. It says we are the children of immortal bliss. Okay? Which is nothing but a Amritsaya Putra. Okay? And even Vedic astrology identifies very clearly the souls all come from God. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, right? All of my children, the souls come from me, right? It is the soul, right? The body is different, but the souls transfer. It's a karmic journey, okay? And condensing into a funnel to bring it to Vedic astrology, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the trinities, which is also there in Vedic astrology. So Brahma uses the Rajasic energy. And the planets associated with Rajasic is Venus and Mercury. Vishnu uses the protection energy. Brahma creation, Vishnu protection, Sattvic energy, Jupiter, Sun and Moon. Shiva, the Tasmic energy, which is also a destructive energy, uses Saturn, Mars, Rahu and Ketu. So end of the day, everything summarizes beautifully between Hinduism and Vedic astrology because this is the ultimate truth. All right? I have published several videos on Hinduism. Look at my play channel as well, the playlist, you will find it. Okay, so coming back, understand the 4 principles, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Okay, once you see somebody's chart, look at all this and you will understand which direction the person is going. All right, I hope this video was helpful. If you like the video, press the like button, share, subscribe and follow. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.